Hi, everyone. Welcome to this week's Facebook premiere video. I'm Jim Hoffman, Vice President of Operations at Wholesale Warranties. Today, we have a special guest joining us to give a firsthand experience when it comes to RVs, warranties, and repairs. During this stream, be sure to tell us where you're from and ask any additional questions you have. We'll be answering them in real time. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to Emily Fagan and Mark Fagan from RoadsLessTraveled. They've been traveling since 2007. Emily, do you want to tell us a little bit more about yourself and RoadsLessTraveled?
Sure. We started RVing back in 2007. We essentially ran away from home in a little 27-foot travel trailer, and within a year we upgraded to a fifth-wheel hitchhiker. And we've been in that rig ever since, so it's going to be 12 years in May. And we post our adventures warranty-wise and travel-wise on our blog, which is called RoadsLessTraveled.us. And this is my sweet husband, Mark.
Hello, world.
Hi, Mark.
Facebook world.
And I really want to stress how amazing your guys' website is. I mean, whether you're an RVer for a year, an RVer for decades, it's very well done. It shows the little places that you guys have gone within each state, and it's very impressive. So for all you out there, if you haven't been on there, highly suggest. Well, thanks, Emily, for that introduction. Kind of want to get into the nitty-gritty of RV warranties. Can you tell us your experience with having an RV warranty thus far, and maybe a little bit about how much money you think you've saved by having an extended warranty?
Well, we've saved a ton of money. Let me put it that way. In rough numbers, our warranty is a 4-year warranty, and it cost right around $2,000 to buy the contract. We had $8,000 worth of repairs during those 4 years, and $7,000 of the repairs were reimbursed to us. So we were out of pocket for all those repairs for just $1,000 plus the $2,000 warranty. So for a cost of $3,000, we got $5,000 of free repair work. So yeah, that pretty good numbers for us.
I was going to say, that sounds like a pretty good investment.
Yeah, it really was. And I have to say, I was very skeptical at first. I didn't have a lot of experience with warranties, and I thought maybe it was a little bit of snake oil, but boy, once our trailer started falling apart, we were sure glad we had it.
Well said.
Better on your investments than the bank.
That's right. Better than stocks sometimes.
And for those RVers out there who, probably similar to what you said, snake oil or maybe a little bit weary, has this firsthand experience with wholesale warranties, kind of being there and getting the policy through us, and what that experience is like?
Well, it was a very simple process. Wholesale warranties, I think, is way above and beyond the other warranty companies. The thing that I think sets wholesale warranties apart is the willingness to go to bat for the customer in the process of getting the repair covered. And I think a lot of other companies, they offer a warranty and then they wash their hands of it and walk away once you've bought the contract. But with wholesale warranties, we have been basically handheld through 5 big repairs. And I have to tell you, when you're dead on the road with a major problem, it is so nice to call someone who's calm and collected and can listen to a little bit of your woes and then help give you sort of guidance to get your thinking back on track and to help you go through the process of getting the repair done and hopefully covered by the warranty.
Okay, and it's reassuring to hear those words come from you. Now, I understand Mark has a knack for mechanical issues. How difficult was it, or would you still consider a warranty even though he has all those technical skills?
Well, if you're asking me, yeah, sure. Most of the stuff I can take care of, but when, it's something major like your refrigerator dies or frame cracks on your trailer, something like that, I don't carry around a welder with me. So, yeah, it's definitely worked out. And like Emily said, the best part is when they go to bat for you, it's really nice because we've had a couple of incidences where they didn't want to cover it. and you guys actually got involved, and then all of a sudden magically they did cover it. So have to compliment you on that. That was really nice. But yeah, it really helps to have it. It's kind of like a cheap insurance policy, I guess.
But I have to say at the beginning, that was part of my skepticism about getting a warranty, is that Mark is extraordinary with a wrench. And in fact, before we had the warranty, he replaced the landing jacks on our fifth wheel when we were out in the desert with nothing to prop it up or anything. And he did the whole process on his own. So he's extraordinarily capable. But the problem is with those big repairs, if you need to do something with the suspension or the refrigerator or any sort of getting the freshwater tank out of the bottom of the trailer, those are really not one-man do-it-yourself type projects. And boy, especially with the refrigerator, watching them use the forklift to get the old fridge out through the dining room window and the new fridge back in through the dining room window, and I just looked at that and said, wow, Mark would not probably be doing that. We don't own a forklift.
No,
it'd be very difficult without a forklift.
Right.
And also up until that point, when we got the warranty, we had fixed everything prior to getting the warranty ourselves. We never needed it. And I thought, I don't know if we need something like that. You know, I've taken care of everything already. But once we got it, I was really glad we did.
Yeah,
So.
and I think that, you know, with our rig was newer and at the beginning, and so the problems we had were kind of small scale. But as it gets older, of course, bigger and bigger systems tend to fall apart. So that's where it has worked out very well for us.
Well, and some of that, hopefully, you know, that allows you guys to travel a little bit more and doesn't always have to have Mark, you know, for lack of a better term, for the hood, repairing stuff and stuff like that. Just kind of get it fixed and get back on the road, which is key.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned a few times about a refrigerator. Have you had to deal with a refrigerator replacement in your unit?
Yes, we have. That was the second of our big repairs. And I didn't realize it at the time, but an RV propane refrigerator is generally expected to fail within about 10 years, and ours failed after 8. So when it failed, we were shocked and horrified and thought it was the worst thing in the world. And then we found out that it was actually a common failure. And ironically, the cost of replacing that refrigerator, it's a small 8 cubic foot fridge. It's not like the modern big ones, but it was a $1,700 repair. I think it was $1,750 about. And the cost of the warranty was $1,904. So just the refrigerator replacement alone just about paid for the warranty. And given that propane fridges are known to fail, and given that the tendency in the industry right now is back to propane fridges because they're better for dry camping, I think that it's that alone justifies the warranty.
What was it like when you were trying to go through the claim on having the refrigerator replaced or repaired?
Well, that was an interesting one. We called about 15 different places to find somebody that had one of those fridges in stock. Of course, when your fridge goes out, everything that's in it is going to go bad. So we were, running against the clock. So we found a place that was a Camping World that was outside of Indianapolis. So we detoured about 150 miles to get to them. And they were amazing because they were willing to slip us into their schedule spur of the moment, even though they had a backlog for a long time. But they try to take care of people that are on the road with easy repairs like that. And a fridge repair is easy, it's just expensive. But the way the process works is you have the service manager look at the problem and then do an estimate of what it's going to take to repair it. And when he called into the warranty company, the company said, well, gee, if we just replace the cooling unit, which is the failed part, it's going to save us $150. If you replace the whole refrigerator, it's going to be $150 more. So we don't want to cover the whole fridge. We'll just give you a new cooling unit. Well, the problem was that Camping World didn't have that in stock. And also they had shuffled their schedule already to fit us in because we called ahead. So that was where Wholesale Warranties was amazing. You guys got on the phone with the warranty company and said, look, it's only $150. If they replace the whole fridge, they'll be done and out of there in a couple hours. If you insist on replacing only the cooling unit, they're going to be there for a few days. Camping World's got to reshuffle all their appointments, and it's a big hassle. And the warranty company went along with that and did the new refrigerator.
it's kind of satisfying sometimes. We're able to be a good ear, if you will, or a good voice in the ear of the warranty company to say, look, at the end of the day, it's really not that much dollar amount difference to make a good choice for our consumer. So definitely appreciate that story, or that experience to an extent. You know,
actually, all of our stories are quite positive, and one of the things that I would suggest to anyone is when you have a problem, call Wholesale Warranties at the beginning, just to let them know that you're dead on the road with something, and to get a little bit of input as to, is this coverable or not, and that kind of thing. I love that helping hand, especially when all heck is breaking loose.
Yeah, the fun of that whole story too was being as the refrigerator was getting warm and all the meat and everything in the freezer was defrosting. I figured, hey, let's help out these guys. They threw a ton of workers on our rig to get us in and out quick. So I pulled the barbecue out, and I basically cooked up everything we had. We had chicken and hot dogs and hamburgers and steaks, and they invited all the workers that were even inside the shop to come out. And so we had a big lunch fest right out in the parking lot, which worked out really well. It was fun.
That was a lot of fun.
I think that's great. I mean, not only the mechanic, but the cook as well. I mean, that's
not always.
Right?
I could do the barbecue.
Yeah. You brought up a good point, and I kind of want to just ask just a few more questions. I don't want to take too much more of your time, but what do you guys find is one of the bigger values of doing business with a broker like Wholesale Warranties? First, when you hear about a warranty product, oftentimes that can be just thought of as a dealership or something like that. You guys have found a little bit of value doing business with us as an individual broker?
Well, what I like is that you guys kind of survey all the warranty companies out there, and you selectively choose the ones that you feel are the best companies, and you stay on top of that. So as a company, improves or falls apart, you either deal with them or you leave them. And I like that that the idea that you're doing the research and the selection of the companies.
Plus you get involved.
And you get involved, and that's
worth a lot right there.
Yep, that's the biggest thing for us is being able to call and say, we're having this problem, and a lot of it's just, do you think it's going to be covered? Because that's going to influence our decision. If it's something that leaves us dead on the road, we got to take care of it. But if it's something that can wait and until we get to a better place, and if it's not covered, then we're going to choose one strategy. And if it can wait, but it will be covered, we'll choose another strategy. So I really like being able to talk over the problem and go through the details with your staff to figure out what the best plan of attack is.
Yeah, because we've been, a couple of situations where we'll talk to the service manager, and so they, have to follow procedures and phone it in, and then they come to find out that it's not covered. Well, okay, let me make a phone call. So, next thing you know, they're going, okay, it is covered. So I don't know what you guys do, pull some magic strings or something, but that's worked out. And it's not only just once, it's been a number of times where you've gone to bat for us, like we've said, and it's worked out. So I
think a lot of it is that as RVers, Mark is technically extraordinary, but describing something on the phone, the service manager tries to describe it to the warranty company and may not describe it in such a way that it's understandable exactly what's gone wrong. And that's what I like, is getting a third party involved in saying, okay, here's what the problem is, and then determining if it's covered or not.
Yeah, sometimes that mediator or just saying something a different way can go.
And there's been quite a few times where we called and we were told, nope, not covered, you're on your own. And it's like, okay, that's fine. I just wanted to know that up front. We had our RV awning finally gave out after 11 years, and it was the canvas that gave out, and that's one of those wear and tear items. And so when I called in and say, hey, do we get a free awning? It's like, no, sorry.
You tried.
But I like the fact that it's, I don't have to deal with I do read the contract, but I don't have to get back into the nitty gritty of the contract. I can just call and touch base and get a quickie answer, and then proceed with whatever we're going to do about it.
Yeah, one of the important things that we believe about being a broker is being as transparent as we can. So if it's covered, we're going to tell you if it's covered. If it's not, we're going to tell you it's not. But we're at the end of the day, hopefully, we're here to show value for the RVers like yourselves. What would be one of your biggest tips for the RVers out there as far as the claims process and what your experience has been thus far?
Well, I would say one of the most important things is to use your camera or your phone and photograph what's going on. We had a slow failure in our suspension, and it was very unclear what was going on, but it was very demonstrable that it was failing. I just happened to have had photos of the distance between the two wheels on our tandem axle trailer, which at the beginning was about two finger widths, my index finger and middle finger. And I just took a photo at the time because I thought, that's kind of close, it's interesting. And then I used my fingers to monitor as the thing began to fall apart. And by the end, 1,000 miles later, I couldn't get my pinky between the two wheels. And so I was able to show before and after photos of here's how it was, in June, and here is how it is now in October or whatever it was. And that really helped with the whole process. I think being able to say, these are photos of what's happening. And likewise, when we had our trailer axle bent, we were on some bad roads in Nova Scotia, and it was actually the spindle of on the axle that bent, and it showed up as very odd tire wear. And again, detailed photographs showing the scalloped flat spots on the tires, that really, really helped because a mechanic can look at that and say, yeah, that definitely looks like an axle issue. So that sort of helped propel that forward. So I would say get your cell phone out, and even if you're not a great photographer, just take a lot of pictures because they sure help.
Probably the other thing too is when you do have a crisis arise is to call you guys first rather than just going right to a service center and then having to backpedal your way through the whole process, and seem to go a lot smoother. Just call you first, find out what the situation is.
Also, it helps because you guys remind us of what the steps are. And well, now that we've been through it 5 times, I think we've got the steps memorized, but maybe. Luckily, it's been a little while since our last big repair. But certainly, if you've just gotten the warranty and it's your first or second repair, it really helps at the outset to be told, okay, first step is this, second step is this, so that you do the things in the right order. Because if you do it in the wrong order, for instance, you get it repaired, and then you say, hey, where's my money after the fact, you've already crossed yourself off of that possibility.
Sorry.
Yeah, so I think, taking photos and calling you guys right away, those are the 2 big tips.
Okay. Now, if you hadn't driven on the rough roads of Nova Scotia and stayed on well-paved paths, would you still deem the extended warranty necessary?
Well, I think
it's just peace of mind. I think, yeah, it's cheap insurance, like I said, and peace of mind that if something does come up, you're covered. I mean, things like that water tank that cracked on us, I mean, that would have been a major repair if I had to try and do it myself somewhere, ordering up a tank and dropping the whole belly pan and what have you. And
or even replacing the toilet. I mean, who wants to replace a toilet? It was really nice to take photos of somebody else doing
it. Nice for a change, right?
You're right.
So yeah, I think, as soon as you get the trailer, just get the warranty. Even if it comes with a manufacturer so-called warranty, they don't usually work. So all they do is point fingers. It's their fault. No, it's their fault.
And the thing is, I think that wholesale warranties, that the secondary warranty, the manufacturer's warranty comes first. But if they turn it down, then you can turn to the extended warranty to sort of fill in the missed pieces. But yeah, I would definitely recommend, consider it worthwhile. What it is it's a financial gamble. You're plunking down money at the beginning in the hopes that when disaster strikes, you get a big payout. Or that's one way of looking at it. And that's what happened in our case. It was a little bit of money up front, but we got a lot of money back over the 4 years. But even if we hadn't, I think the peace of mind of knowing that if we have a $5,000 repair, we're not going to be dipping into our savings to cover it. in most cases, because I mean, obviously, and there's a distinction between insurance and warranties. Insurance is for accidents and acts of gods, and warranties are for just the systemic failures in, you know, parts falling apart. And I think that peace of mind it's worth the money up front.
Yeah, I think, you know, when you buy a trailer, like I say, they're not cheap anymore. So just factor in the $2,000 into, you know, if you're paying $200,000 for a trailer, just factor in that extra $2,000 and you'll be able to sleep better at night.
Yeah,
it's not that much considering.
It's probably going to be a lot more than $2,000. Our trailer is very simple. We don't have hydraulic jacks, and we have a small refrigerator. So I think that a more modern trailer that has the hydraulic leveling and that has an 18 cubic foot propane fridge, those warranties are going to be a lot more money. But again, an 18 cubic foot propane fridge runs about $4,500. So who wants to fork that out in year 6 when the thing dies? Mm-hmm. So
yeah,
yeah, it's a good.
Good. Is there anything else that you'd like to add about warranties in general, or what you've learned through the repair process or the warranty process?
No, not really.
I don't think so.
We've been pretty happy with it. So
at the beginning of owning our trailer and living in it, I thought, man, this is great. Nothing ever goes wrong. And the more years go by, the more things go wrong. So, you know, don't live in dream world. If you are going to own an RV over a long period of time, it will have problems.
Especially if you use it.
Yeah, especially if you use it.
Just leave it sit in the backyard. Yeah, it's definitely good to have.
Good. Well, that's all we have time for today. Emily, how can Wholesale Warranties community learn more about Roads Less Traveled and follow you along your journeys?
Oh, well, it's the website is RoadsLessTraveled.us, and there's a ton of stuff on there. There's a very thorough menu system with travels broken down by states and countries, and RV tech tips and RV lifestyle tips.
Good tips.
All of our wholesale warranty stories, it's a 5-part series. They're all under the RV lifestyle tips because I consider the financial aspects of the RV lifestyle to be under lifestyle rather than technical. So you'll also find our budget under there as well if you're curious about that side of the money equation. But yeah,
a lot of
come
great
along
photos.
On the ride. We've got lots
Beautiful
of folks
photos.
that have been following along for many, many years. So I hope you check it out.
Yeah, subscribe.
Well, you heard it here. Be sure to follow Emily, Mark, and Buddy on their RV adventures. See it around there?
Yeah, he's under the picnic table.
Yeah. I kind of wanted to see him, but I got it. I'll get him. If you like an RV, are you going to get him?
Hanging. He'll get him. Oh, he's getting stretched out. Oh, the sweet.
Sorry, buddy. But viewers at home, it's worth it. Look at that little guy.
Quite a star. Yeah, one of the things you'll find on our website is Camping World did a video of our travels and us, and Buddy's the star of the show, no doubt.
Yeah. Hi, Buddy.
And you can fly. Such a cute.
Well, if you'd like an RV warranty quote, you can text Wholesale to 474747 or give us a call at 1-800-939-2806. Thank you especially to Emily, Mark, and Buddy for joining us this week. We hope you enjoyed the broadcast and look forward to seeing you again soon.
Okay, well, great. Thank you very much.
Thank you for
Enjoyed
the opportunity.
it.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
All right, bye.
Bye.